Chapter 1. There are bad days. And then there are university housing mix-up days that I stared at the email, my eye twitching. Dear Ava Mitchell, due to unforeseen dormitory maintenance, you have been reassigned to a new apartment. Your new roommate is Liam Carter. We appreciate your understanding. Understanding? Understanding? I shot up from my seat in the campus library, nearly knocking over my iced coffee. Lily, my best friend and the only person currently stopping me from committing a crime, peeked over her textbook. Oh, she said. What happened? I turned my screen toward her. She read it, blinked, then burst out laughing. Oh my God. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I grabbed a pillow from the couch and screamed into it because here's the thing, I hated Liam Carter, the smug, too smart for his own good, insufferable bane of my existence. Ever since freshman year, he had made my life hell. If there was a competition, he had to win. If I answered a professor's question, he had to correct me. If I breathed, he had to be better at breathing. And now, thanks to the incompetent, evil forces of campus housing, I had to share an apartment with him for 4 whole months. That I was going to lose my mind. Chapter 2. The moment I walked into our new apartment, I knew I was doomed because there, sprawled on my future couch, looking as relaxed as if he owned the place, was Liam Carter. He glanced up from his phone, saw me, and smirked. Well, he said, grinning like an absolute menace. Look who finally made it. I dropped my suitcase with a thud. Don't talk to me. Not even a hello. He scared. And here I thought living together would be fun. Fun. The only way this would be fun was if he mysteriously disappeared in his sleep. I dragged my bags into the apartment, ignoring him as hard as possible. I had one plan. Claim the bigger room before he could. Unfortunately, Liam was a cheater because just as I reached the hallway, he casually stretched out his arm, blocking my way. Sorry, Mitchell, he said. Already called dibs. I stared at him, horrified. You can't call dibs if I wasn't here to hear it. Liam just smiled. That stupid, cocky, infuriating smile. Guess you should have checked in sooner. I wanted to throw him off the balcony. Chapter 3. If Liam thought I was going to make this easy, he had another thing coming because if I couldn't have the bigger room, I was going to make his life miserable. I set 20 alarms for 6 a.m. I woke up before they rang, but I made sure he didn't. I rearranged the fridge so his protein shakes were on the highest shelf. Watching him struggle to reach them? Beautiful. I stole the TV remote and hid it in a different place every day. He had to actually talk to me to find it. Victory. Of course, Liam fought back. He labeled my snacks with his name. I ate them anyway. He turned off the bathroom light mid-shower. I slipped and almost died. He played obnoxious workout music at full volume at 7 a.m. I started wearing noise-cancelling headphones. It was all-out war and honestly, it was kind of fun. Chapter 4. By week 2, our apartment had turned into a full-fledged battlefield. There was no safe zone. No neutral ground. No moment of peace. Liam was everywhere, mocking me when I tripped over his basketball bag. Stealing my Wi-Fi when his laptop was accidentally too far from the router. Breathing too loudly in my presence. It was exhausting. And then, on a particularly horrible Monday morning, I woke up to disaster. The coffee machine was broken. My coffee machine. I stood in the kitchen, staring at it like I'd just lost a loved one. Liam walked in, still groggy from sleep, rubbing his eyes. His hair was a mess. He wasn't wearing a shirt, unfortunately. He still looked stupidly good. He yawned. Why are you standing there like a horror movie villain? I whirled around, pointing at the machine. Look at it. Look at what you've done. Liam blinked. Hair. My coffee machine. It's dead. He stared at it for a second. Then shrugged. Just buy another one. I gasped, clutching my chest. You absolute monster. No, seriously. He raised an eyebrow. We have, 5 coffee shops near campus. Just go buy coffee. I narrowed my eyes. I don't want to spend money, Liam. I want my coffee machine to work. He groaned, running a hand through his hair. Fine. Truce. I blinked. Hair. Temporary ceasefire, he said, crossing his arms. If I fix your coffee machine, we call a temporary truce. I frowned. Define temporary. 1 week, he said. I considered it. Was I really going to make a deal with the devil? Yes. Yes, I was fine, I muttered. Truce. And just like that, our war came to a pause. Chapter 5. The problem with truces: they made you notice things you shouldn't. Like how Liam looked annoyingly attractive when he was fixing things, shirt still off. Why was it always off? Or how he smelled ridiculously good, something fresh, clean, infuriatingly nice. Or how, when he was focused, his brows furrowed in this really cute way. Wait. No. Not cute. Anything but cute. I was losing my mind. And then, just as I was beginning to convince myself that I wasn't developing a tiny, microscopic crush, Liam ruined everything because after successfully fixing the coffee machine, he turned to me, smirking. Grateful yet? I rolled my eyes. Barely. And then, this absolute menace, he reached over and ruffled my hair. He ruffled my hair. I short-circuited my brain blue-screened. I let out a noise that I pray to this day no one ever hears again. Liam chuckled, stepping back. Relax, Mitchell. I don't bite. Oh, but I wanted to kill him. Or maybe kiss him. No. Definitely kill. Chapter 6. By week 4, the worst thing imaginable happened. I realized I didn't hate Liam Carter anymore. Did he still annoy me? Yes. Did he still have a stupid face? Absolutely. Did I still want to launch him into the sun at least 3 times a day? Without a doubt, but he also made me laugh, like actual, out loud, breathless laughter, which was dangerous, because laughter meant I was enjoying his presence. Enjoying his presence meant I was softening. Softening meant I was doomed. And then, one night, everything changed. Chapter 7. It started with a storm. Not a dramatic, movie-style hurricane or anything, just a regular thunderstorm that knocked out the power in our apartment. I had been sitting on the couch, reading, when suddenly, darkness. Then, from Liam's room. Are you freaking kidding me? A second later, I heard the unmistakable sound of him walking straight into a wall. I snorted. Loudly. Shut up, he grumbled from the hallway. I smirked, pulling out my phone. Or, is the big, bad Liam Carter scared of the dark? No, he said. Then, after a pause, I just don't like unexpected blackouts. I frowned. Something in his voice sounded off. I turned on my phone's flashlight and pointed it at him, and that's when I noticed it. Liam wasn't joking. His arms were crossed over his chest, his shoulders tense. His usual smirk gone. Instead, his jaw was clenched, and his gaze was locked on the ground. Liam Carter was actually uncomfortable. That was new. I hesitated for a second, then scooted over, patting the couch next to me. Come sit, I said, trying to keep my voice casual. It's not like you have anything better to do. Liam glanced at me. Then, after what felt like forever, he sat down next to me, close. Too close that I could feel his warmth, the faint scent of his cologne, the way his leg barely brushed against mine. It should have been uncomfortable. It wasn't. Wanna play 20 questions? I asked, trying to lighten the mood. Liam snorted. What are we, 12? I nudged him with my elbow. Come on, Carter. What's the worst that could happen? He glanced at me, something flickering in his eyes. And then, to my surprise, he said fine. But I go first. Chapter 8. At first, it was harmless. Favorite movie? He said Inception. Basic. Worst subject in high school? I said physics. He said none. Ooh. Biggest childhood fear? Mine, clowns. His, thunderstorms. But then, the questions started getting real. What's something you've never told anyone? I asked. Liam hesitated. Then, in a quiet voice, he said, I don't actually like competing with you. I blinked. What? He exhaled, running a hand through his hair. I mean, it's fun. But I think somewhere along the way, I started doing it just to get your attention. My brain short-circuited. Liam Carter, campus golden boy, the guy who had made it his life's mission to drive me insane, wanted my attention. And then, before I could even process that information, he turned to me and asked, what about you? Do you still hate me? My throat went dry because the answer was no. I didn't hate him. I hadn't for a while. I glanced at him, his messy hair, his serious expression, the way his stupidly perfect face was way too close to mine. I swallowed. I don't know, I whispered. Liam's eyes darkened slightly. Liar. And then, before I could react, he leaned in. Chapter 9. I froze because Liam Carter, my enemy, my rival, my annoying, insufferable roommate, was about to kiss me, and worse, I wanted him to. His lips were just inches from mine. My heart was hammering. My mind was screaming. Then, just as our lips were about to touch, the power came back on that I jumped away from him like I'd been electrocuted. Liam blinked at me, clearly startled that I grabbed the nearest object, which happened to be a throw pillow, and smacked him with it. What was that? I shrieked. Liam just laughed. Seriously? We almost kissed, and your first reaction is to attack me with a pillow? I was going to die right there. On the spot. I scrambled to my feet, face burning. You don't just kiss people like that. Liam stood too, stepping closer. Why not? I opened my mouth, then closed it. Why not? Because it was Liam, because we were enemies, because this wasn't supposed to happen, but none of those felt like real reasons anymore. Liam smirked. That's what I thought. Then, as if he hadn't just turned my entire world upside down, he stretched and said, "Night, Mitchell." And with that, he walked away, leaving me completely, utterly ruined. Chapter 10. After the almost kiss hash, I committed to avoiding Liam. I plotted. I strategized. I mapped out every possible route to dodge him on campus, and then, on Monday morning, he was waiting for me at my locker. I skidded to a stop, considering my options. Faking an illness, jumping out a window, transferring to another university. Before I could choose, Liam spotted me. "Mitchell," he called out, flashing a lazy grin. "Wow, it's almost like you've been avoiding me. I have no idea what you're talking about." I turned on my heel and marched in the opposite direction. He followed. I walked faster. He matched my pace. I took a sharp turn. He did the same. "Liam," I gritted out, "are you seriously following me across campus? You're the one running." I whirled around. I am not running. A few passing students glanced at us. One guy snickered. Liam smirked, leaning against a nearby pillar. "Fine, then. Let's talk." I crossed my arms. "About what?" "You know what." I glanced around, making sure no one was eavesdropping. "No, I don't." He gave me a look. I scowled. It was a mistake. Liam's jaw ticked. "Really?" "Yes." Silence stretched between us. Then, in a slow, deliberate voice, he said, "That's the worst lie you've ever told." And just like that, I was doomed. Chapter 11. By some cruel twist of fate, Liam and I were assigned a group project together, just the two of us, which meant no avoiding him. No ignoring him. No pretending he didn't make my heart do weird, stupid things. We met up at a coffee shop near campus. I arrived first, claiming a seat in the back corner. Then Liam walked in. And of course, because the universe hated me, he looked annoyingly good. His black hoodie was slightly oversized, the sleeves pushed up to his elbows. His hair was tousled like he'd just rolled out of bed. And when he spotted me, he smirked like he knew exactly what he was doing to me. This was actual, real-life torture. "Alright, let's get this over with," I muttered as he sat down. Liam stretched, looking completely relaxed. "So tense, Mitchell. You sure you're not overthinking?" I ignored him, flipping open my notebook. "We need to split the research evenly. I can take the first half, you take the second." Liam hummed. "Or we could work together." "We are working together." "No, I mean, like," he leaned forward, resting his chin on his hand. Together. I blinked. "That is literally the definition of a group project." He grinned. "You're cute when you're flustered." I short-circuited. I snapped my mouth shut. "Focus, Carter." "Sure." He leaned back, sipping his coffee. "But just so you know, I'm done pretending we don't have chemistry." I nearly choked on air. "Excuse me?" He grinned. "You heard me." I was in so much trouble. Chapter 12. Liam Carter had always been annoying, but post-almost kiss Liam Carter, a menace. He wasn't even trying to be subtle anymore. Exhibit A. He insisted on sitting next to me in every lecture. Exhibit B. He kept finding excuses to touch me, brushing against my arm, tucking my hair behind my ear, resting his chin on my shoulder when I was reading. Exhibit C. He somehow managed to steal my hoodie and wore it around campus like it was the most natural thing in the world. Liam, I deadpanned one afternoon, watching him stroll into the library wearing my navy blue hoodie. "What are you doing?" "Wearing your hoodie," he said casually. It smells like you. I felt actual flames erupt across my face. You can't just say stuff like that. Why not? He grinned. It's true. I groaned, dropping my head onto the table. I hate you. Liam chuckled, leaning down so his voice was low in my ear. No, you don't. He was right. And that was the worst part. Chapter 13. One night, I found myself sitting on the rooftop of our apartment building, staring at the stars. It was quiet. Peaceful. A rare moment where I didn't have to think about Liam Carter and his stupid smirks and unfairly attractive everything. Then the door creaked open. I didn't have to look to know it was him. Couldn't sleep? He asked, sitting next to me. I shook my head. Liam exhaled, resting his arms on his knees. You're scared, aren't you? I frowned. Scared of what? Of us. I sucked in a breath. Liam turned to me, his expression serious. We fight, we tease, we annoy the hell out of each other. But at the end of the day, we always come back to this. I swallowed hard. Mitchell, he murmured, if you want me to back off, I will. But if there's even the smallest part of you that wants this, you have to stop running. My heart was pounding, because I did want this. I wanted him. Slowly, I turned to face him. What if we ruin it? Liam smiled. What if we don't? For once, I had no comeback. Instead, I took a shaky breath, then reached out and grabbed his hand, and just like that, we stopped being enemies. Epilogue. Dating Liam Carter was exactly as chaotic as I expected. We still argued over dumb things. Like the correct way to load a dishwasher. We still kept score. But now, winning meant kisses instead of bragging rights. We still drove each other insane. But now, it was in a good way. One day, as we were walking across campus, someone called out, "Wait, aren't you two supposed to hate each other?" Liam smirked, throwing an arm around my shoulders. "We're just enemies with benefits now." I elbowed him. "Liam." He just laughed, pressing a kiss to my temple. "Relax, babe. They'll figure it out eventually. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way."
Epilogue. Liam's POV. Dating Mitchell was the best and worst decision of my life. Best, because I was absolutely obsessed with her. Worst, because she still made me want to pull my hair out at least once a day, like right now. We were at a coffee shop, sitting across from each other, and Mitchell was furiously scribbling notes for an assignment that wasn't due for another 3 weeks. I reached over and stole one of her fries. She smacked my hand away without even looking up for Mitchell. I drawled, popping the stolen fry into my mouth. "Anyway, what? You love me, right?" "Unfortunately." I grinned. "Then tell me why you still refuse to wear my hoodie in public." She paused. I leaned forward. "Oh my God. You do wear it, don't you?" She kept writing. "I have no idea what you're talking about." "You totally do." I smirked. "You just don't want people to know." She finally looked up, eyes narrowing. "Liam, I swear, if you say another word." I leaned back, grinning like an idiot. I'd caught her once, wearing my hoodie in her dorm room, sleeves covering her hands, looking cute as hell. She'd nearly thrown a textbook at me when I walked in and caught her. Mitchell sighed, rubbing her temples. "Why are you like this?" "Because it's fun," I said. "Also, you're cute when you're flustered." "Liam." "Yes, babe?" She stared into the abyss like she was re-evaluating every decision that led to this moment. Then, muttering something under her breath, she snatched my hoodie from her bag and pulled it on. There, she huffed. "Happy now?" I blinked, then I grinned like a maniac. "Happiest I've ever been." Mitchell groaned. "You are so annoying." "Yeah," I agreed, wrapping an arm around her shoulders, "but I'm your annoying." She rolled her eyes, but I caught the smile she tried to hide, and honestly, I wouldn't change a single thing.